Welcome to Linda's TV show. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. Please, I beg you for this favor, click on that red button that says subscribe. Beside the red button is a notification bell. Turn the bell on so that anytime I upload a new video, you will be the first person to check it out. I appreciate each and every one of you who always come back to watch my videos. Like you know, I present news on daily basis to you. So after watching the video, you are free to criticize and leave your comment constructively. Share the video. Yeah, you can share it to your family, friends, anybody that you can, so that they themselves will be informed. Now I present to you another interesting or informative video which we are going to watch together. Yeah, I'm going to watch this video together with you. Then we'll come to the comments.
Has been able to comport himself as a servant to the people, and within the Catholic community, a messenger of God. If there should be any reason why Mbaka should be suspended, it should be for the same reason which Onaga is standing accused with evidences. Onaga is accused of sleeping with a girl many years ago when she was barely in her teens. And he took advantage of his position, even though he was a priest that people could run to when they're in trouble, took advantage of his position, took this girl to bed, slept with her, impregnated her, and gave birth to a son which is not hidden. On the grounds of that, Bishop Onaga should have been removed from office. But he wasn't. And this problem is also predominantly occurring in the church and in the government. Mbaka has stood clean. People are willing to die for him. I remember when Mbaka had problem with Chimaroke Nnamani of Enugu State. And there were people who were killed because they were strong supporters of Mbaka, young men, that Mbaka demanded that Chimaroke would give account of the lives of those boys that were killed. So like I told you, I am not fronting for Mbaka as a preacher or a man of God. I'm fronting for Mbaka. I'm speaking because Mbaka has proved himself to be a social crusader, a demander for equity and judgment and justice. So, Onaga himself, I believe the day you went to the seminary to be a priest, there were certain vows you took to God in heaven that you were going to be celibate, because the Catholic community considers celibacy as one of the priorities to become a priest. You'll be told ahead of time that you're not going to get married, regardless of your desire for sex. And Onaga took it. It is not as if somebody who wants to serve God may decide not to sleep with women, like Paul the Apostle did. And yet those who want to serve God can still be married, like Peter the Apostle. So if you have decided to be celibate, you should remain it. And if you decide to marry, you should do it. And if in the process of your celibacy, you became weak as to sleep with a woman and impregnate her, own up to that responsibility, because you brought a child into the world. You took your power and influence to hold a girl to ransom, took her to bed, she obeyed you. You should marry her. And so on the basis of that, if we have to make judgments, Mbaka is standing tall and better than Onaga in every department of the game. But by reason of official appointment, Onaga is the bishop. And therefore he could rally around to suspend Mbaka or whatever. Now, like I told you, when Onaga was to enter into the seminary, he had certain vows to God. Not only to be celibate, another one was to be available to bring the people into serving God under his ministry. That is what Onaga had in mind. That the broken-hearted, the people who are directionless, will come under his watch as a shepherd. And that whatever will take them away from focusing on God, he will stand to resist that thing. If you look at Mbaka's ministry so far, he has focused so much on telling the people, you know, the Catholics have the way they do their worship, and we Pentecostals have the way we do our worship. So we are not here to judge anybody. But if we have to look at the performances so far, Mbaka has spent much of his time directing the people towards serving God, towards knowing God. Mbaka has dedicated his whole life, that he is known everywhere in the whole world for the movement that he has generated in terms of serving God. He's known for that. And the person who deviated actually is Onaga. Now, when Mbaka began to speak, he was speaking on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafran people, because they are killing our people. Hello, Flora Banner, thank you. No, the program just started barely maybe 10 minutes ago, so you're not too late. God bless you, Tony Black. You're watching Backs Obiakofo. God bless you. So, Mbaka began to speak against oppression, the killing of our people, which even if you have to go in the Old Testament prophets, they stood against kings that killed the Jews, the Israelites. Remember, Elijah spoke against Ahab. Seriously. Micaiah spoke against Ahab. If I'm not mistaken, yes. And so, this person, Joel, spoke against the king in Nineveh. So, Mbaka only followed the footsteps of those that speak for the people, for wrongful detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who advocated that the Biafrans should be free to serve their God and build their own nation according to their pattern, so that every effort they have made, which has been wasted in the contraption called Nigeria, can start yielding fruit in the new nation called Biafra. So, we did not see anything wrong with Mbaka's comments. But because Onaga is serving the interest of the Nigerian government, because Onaga is jealous of Mbaka, you know, you may be a bishop high there in the ranking in the church, but a pastor in a branch is doing marvelous works. So much so that even though you are the bishop, you are his boss, the amount of blessings that his ministry generates, both in terms of physical well-being to the people, spiritual well-being, and financial well-being, both to the people and himself, if they put you at par with him, you will see that you are not qualified or competent to stand with him on the basis of achievements ministerially or ministerially. But because you were appointed a bishop, you stood up, you were there before him, probably a little more educated, you are standing as an administrative leader. And if this young man begins to make waves, you feel offended and you want him removed. A typical example was in the time of David and Saul. Saul was the king of Israel, and David was one of his soldiers. But when David slew Goliath and came back, the women were dancing. Saul has killed his thousands, but David has killed 10,000s. And so Saul became jealous and planned to kill David. So Onaga is now standing to bring down Mbaka's ministry and popularity. It is pure jealousy. Another one is that Onaga is working according to the dictates of certain masters that he serves, so as to present a front that will benefit his office and person in future, which definitely will fail. So I have come to talk to Onaga. I don't know how many years you have been in the ministry. I've been there for 35 years and still standing. And I've read the Bible like you have read. And I tell you the truth. If you stand by side with Mbaka, he stands more as the mouthpiece of God than yourself. Because in an act that abused your office, you were involved. And there are evidences being shown. Nothing has been done. Your hand is against this innocent young man who is working hard, not only to preach the gospel, but to speak in defense of the people that have been oppressed. Are you not aware, Onaga, that women are being raped, 12-year-old girl being disvirgined by force in the presence of the father, being introduced into a life that will destroy her forever? Doesn't that touch you? Why would it touch you? You slept with a girl of about, I think, 15 or 17 and gave birth to a son, using your office to manipulate her and cover that. Your sins shall find you out, because there is God in heaven. Biafra shall come, Onaga. This very Mbaka whom you have chosen to humiliate shall rise like a colossus above you. On that day, when Mbaka will stand in Biafra as somebody that spoke the truth and shall be honored, you will hide your face in shame. Your record will speak against you. And unless you will flee to Rome or go to Nigeria and stay there and get appointed, but know of a certainty, you have no respect again among them and among us. So I'm not going to ask you to reinstate Mbaka, because you never called him into that office. And if his calling is beyond you, the powers that ordained him will reordain, reestablish, reinvent, and re-glorify him. You will come and beg. You will apologize. So continue in what you are doing. It is not Mbaka you hurt. You are hurting hundreds and thousands and millions of Catholics that believe in him, who have benefited from Mbaka's ministry. That shows you don't love those people. You hate them. You only care about yourself. That is why you could sleep with this girl and impregnate her and give birth to a son, and you're still hiding it. Whether we are hearing that your brother was interested in the same girl, I don't know how true that is. But that is to show how morally bankrupt and degenerate you are. Because in your heart, the devil has taken abode and is dwelling. Being a bishop does not qualify you to be a candidate for God's kingdom in heaven. You must confess your sins. You have sinned against God greatly by raising up your hand against an innocent man while you are still dwelling in your iniquity and hiding it. Know one thing. Though join hand in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. That's all I have to tell you. As for Mbaka, I know you are not worried about him. I know you are praying. I know you know whom you have believed, and don't be afraid. God bless you. That's all I have to say. Because I know among the men that will be honored when Biafra comes and recognized, Father Mbaka will be one of them. Let's go to the next one. I felt very grieved when Simon was talking this morning. It was like he was lamenting. I felt for him so much. And I want to encourage Simon Ekpa. We know the amount of heavy loads on your shoulder, in your mind, every evil intent against you, we know. But Simon Ekpa will also know that God ordained you for this job. Therefore, he has given you grace. The Bible says that where temptation was, grace did much more abound. From the comments you made and your resolve. I understand your determination to get Biafra is even stronger than it was before this broadcast you made today. For you said your best has not yet been seen. That got me very excited. And I want to come and tell you, young man, God bless you. That is why I tell people, when you see somebody God is using, follow him. Listen to him. Forget about how old you are, because God will see you and pick that man. You will not be everything. So anyone somebody is doing, if he's shining so much, join in the crowd. As long as he's doing the right thing, that light will shine upon you, and all of you will be glorified. Simon Ekpa says it broke his heart to understand that Nnamdi. He said it with so much sobriety. And I felt it, that Nnamdi Kanu's brothers are part of the conspiracy against Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, we know, and it is heartbreaking. Why do we feel heartbroken? Because he's our leader, and these young men are giving a wrong impression of Nnamdi Kanu's genealogy or background. But we don't see it that way. We are looking at Nnamdi Kanu as a person that God raised for Biafra. He's a great man. So we separate him from his brothers. The guy standing clean and tall. And God bless Nnamdi Kanu. That they betrayed him, it is to show their greed and error. It is their problem and their fault. Simon Ekpa said how Kanunta was doing everything he could to get Simon Ekpa's number so that they could talk. But along the line, Kanunta got deceived. All of us know that when Nnamdi Kanu was abducted, they were privy to it, but refused to give us information. I wonder what was going on in their minds. Even as I'm a born-again Christian, my brother is not born again, and his life is in danger. You don't tell me that because I'm a born again, I will not feel concerned. So if Kanunta and his other brothers decided to keep quiet, to play underground hand, hanky-panky against Nnamdi Kanu, that does not, I thank God Simon Ekpa understands that Nnamdi Kanu is clean. And he said he will support, he said that we are yet to see his best. So they can do whatever they want to do, that's their problem. We know they betrayed Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is true. We know that Simon Ekpa stands behind Nnamdi Kanu and is working fully. Without doubt, we understand that the siblings of Nnamdi Kanu were part of the conspiracy that led to his kidnap. Without doubt, it's established. Without doubt. That's our message today. Another one is bombarding Simon Ekpa with careless words and speaking against him has not stopped him from going to the extent where right now the declaration, which I agree with 100%, is that we are no longer just IPOP Autopilot. Autopilot came out because leadership, the former leadership that was in DOS, failed to rise up to the occasion. And therefore Nnamdi Kanu, having seen it, predicted that we are in autopilot. As soon as he was kidnapped, we went autopilot, because then we had no direction. So it was the Spirit of God that was directing things, and people of like minds began to come together, reasoning and talking, saying things in the same way. And in the process, the comment about Simon Ekpa standing to speak in Radio Biafra came up. You know how God plans his things. As soon as Nnamdi Kanu said it, God took that word from Nnamdi Kanu, went and put it upon Simon's head. It permeated into his being, and he was overtaken by that spirit that governs Nnamdi Kanu, this time more ferocious. We said that Elijah was a very tough prophet. Do you know that Elisha was tougher than Elijah? He was meaner. Yes, Elijah told God, when 50 soldiers came to arrest him, he said, if I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and destroy you. And he did. But Elisha's own was 42 children were mocking him because he had a bad head. 42 children, innocent children. Out of anger, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. And a bear came out from the bush and ate all of them. Elijah performed 16 miracles. Elisha performed 32. So if you see the way that Simon Ekpa is going, he is moving at a rate which is more ferocious than that of Onyendu, because Onyendu was like acting as a father. Simon Ekpa is not acting like, he's acting like Joshua, a warrior. He's fighting. You know, he's a trained fighter. Moses was never trained in warfare. He grew up from the Pharaoh family in royalty, just like Nnamdi Kanu, and was leading in truth. But along the line, God wanted Joshua to continue because he needed somebody that would deal with these people expeditiously. And he brought Joshua. And Joshua is from the tribe of Benjamin. The Benjamites are warrior in Israel. They live close to Judah. So whenever there is problem, the Benjamites team up with Judah to fight. So Simon Ekpa came with his... He said that this war, we are going to win it. That we will buy military jets to bomb Nigeria. He said that if you want, come and come. Listen, let me tell you. I am also telling you that I back Simon Ekpa up fully. So he has nothing to be afraid. As far as God had before Simon Ekpa was born, I had been drafted into the Biafran struggle. The day I noticed it was 1967, the day Ojukwu addressed the whole world through BBC. For 70 minutes he was talking. My father put on his radio, I was listening. That was when that thing came upon me. And from that day, I was consciously aware that I'm a Biafran. And one day, we shall be liberated. I was just 7 years old. So that thing that came upon Simon is true. And he's fighting it. You cannot turn him down. And I'm telling Simon to know that with all of us did not come together by accident. It is a planned deal by God. And I, Emeka Livingstone, I, Emeka Livingstone, I am standing behind Simon Ekpa 110% for the struggle for Biafra. If the British government are planning to kill him, they should come and kill me too. Because if they kill Simon and they leave me, I will take over from where he is and my own will be in a different dimension. So if anybody that is speaking against Simon is speaking against the Biafran cause, speaking against Nnamdi Kanu, is speaking against me, and above all is speaking against God. Because I cannot sit down and watch our people being butchered. I can't sit down and watch our women raped, men killed, houses burned, our people decimated. It hurts me. I don't hate those people, but leave us alone. We don't have any ambition territorially. Leave us alone. Let us determine our lives. We want to serve our God in heaven. We want to serve the God of Israel. We want to serve Elohim. Leave us alone. Let us build our nation the way we want it. And therefore, nothing will happen to Simon Ekpa. Nothing. All the juju people have planned has failed. And you keep failing, because he told you, if you had met your native doctor and asked him, he would have told you whom Simon Ekpa is, but you did not make your homework very well. That's why you're failing. And so he is standing strong. He has the backing of true autopiloters. And so right now it is evident, without doubt, beyond any doubt, that Simon Ekpa is leading IPOB, not as a replacement to Nnamdi Kanu, no, as a spokesperson in continuation of the instruction given to him by his master, Nnamdi Kanu. He is doing a great job. In fact, Nnamdi Kanu said that you must listen to him. He is doing an absolutely fantastic job, that he is taking this awareness to a new dimension. He never mentioned that of any other person. Nnamdi Kanu never said Emeka Livingstone is taking it to a new dimension. He never said. He heard me when I was talking. He never said Chike Doziem or Chinasa Nworu or what they call this guy's name, Darlington, is taking it to a new dimension. Nnamdi Kanu never said so. The person he mentioned, incidentally, was not among the DOS. He's a young man from Finland whom Nnamdi Kanu saw. And he said, give him a chance to speak on the platform, because he knew what this young man was going to do things. If they had allowed him, probably would have gotten this victory before now. But because they refused and sabotaged every effort that Nnamdi Kanu put so far by compromising here and there, they delayed it. So to gather the people back together, we went into Autopilot, where people of like minds came together and began to talk. Now, in the process, the form began to be seen, the shape that God was preparing on the Autopilot platform name. And we saw Simon Ekpa come up. We saw the women come up with their leader. And we saw other people. As they were coming up, those that were being weeded out were weeded, removed from Autopilot, who were misbehaving in the media team here and there. Those who were strong advocates later on declared their own kingdom and republic. And now we are coming. I know that the grooming is still going on. Gradually we'll be removing certain people. If your mind is not clear, if your mind is not true, if you're not a true person, you will not survive this movement. If your heart is true, where God is, where Nnamdi Kanu is, where the Biafran people are, you will not stand against Simon Ekpa, because you know, for the sake of Biafra, he put his life on the line and has stood true, calling and defending. This same Simon Ekpa that they are accusing that the Nigerian government paid him $2.7 million is the same Simon Ekpa that they are asking the Nigerian government to deport him, to come and face charges. It's a contradiction. It's confusion in their minds. Because right now, beyond doubt, it is evident the Nigerian government really know who is the person that is really carrying out the instruction of Nnamdi Kanu between Simon Ekpa and all the DOS members put together. The Nigerian government know who is the right person. Everybody knows that Simon Ekpa is carrying out that instruction. And so it is a shame and a disgrace. Remember, when Nnamdi Kanu said there shall be no election in Biafra land beginning from Anambra State, towards that election that brought in Soludo, DOS compromised and said there was going to be election. Against what Onyendu said, your leader told you that. Probably the last comment he made before he was incarcerated. The moment you came into office, you changed it. Thinking that you use political solution to bring Nnamdi Kanu out. That Soludo, when he becomes governor, he will advocate for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Painfully to you guys. When Soludo came, instead of focusing on building Anambra State, his main problem was to remove IPOB from existence. Stop Sister at home. And we told him, we are going to fight you if you are going to fight us. Concentrate on Anambra State. And when that failed, Soludo resorted to liaising or, collaborating with DOS members to paint IPOB Autopilot and Simon Ekpa as the ringleader black. And they began to make careless comments. Now, somewhere along the line, there is problem between Soludo and Chinasa Nworu. But they moved together. They were happy. They're moving here. We now move with the government. They were being called, all these things are ephemeral. The truth stands. If you continue, you will fail. What happened? Those of them that Soludo took from that DOS appointed IPOB members, gave them money. They began to sell them out. And now Chinasa Nworu is getting offended and warning Soludo. Now, there is something that is underground I want Biafrans to listen to. When we started this thing, they never believed we were going to go this far. They thought somewhere along the line we're going to crash. Because they had looked at everything, having betrayed Nnamdi Kanu and is being
so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.